How's it going, everybody? I'm not sure how the sound is, so if anybody in the chat could let me know what the sound is like right now, that would be great. I had a little bit of delay earlier, and I'm trying to see if that delay has been corrected, and that would be great if it has. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna assume since no one's said anything about the delay that there may not be one. I appreciate everybody for stopping by for the live stream. I just did the unboxing video for the Note Air 4C. A lot of good things that I noticed off the bat. I'm trying to get this microphone into a position that's not covering the tablets so I can see what my top-down view looks like. Oh, that doesn't look good. Oh, boy. Let's see if we can get this fixed up. All right, so 1 second. Let me see if I can get this top-down camera situated. All right. Okay, finally. Let's see if we can get this on now. Oh, that worked. Okay, all right. Thank goodness. I'm new at this live stream stuff, you guys, so bear with me. I'm getting better each one that I do, but I'm still new at it. So I'm going to make a few mistakes. But let's see what we got here. All right. I'm hoping that this at least you guys can see the top-down camera pretty well. Okay. All right, here we go. All right, so the first thing is I want to give a side-by-side comparison between the Note Air 3C and the Note Air 4C. Just to see what the background looks like side by side with the front lights off. I'll move them both as close. Well, maybe about, yeah, right here is good. Yeah, we have the Note Air 3C right here, and Note Air 4C right here. And, I mean, maybe we should look at them like this. They're both getting almost the same amount of light. I'm not going to hold you. Well, yeah, right here, the 4C does look brighter. But I think that's due to the color shift. than more than anything. The 4C looks gray. That's one thing I've noticed, is that the 4C looks gray compared to the 3C. The 3C has this reddish tint to it, and the 4C is more gray. Some people have called it greenish. It may have a slight greenish tint, but to me it just looks gray. Oh, there's freezing. Oh, okay. I just looked at the chat and saw that. I'm not sure what that's about. I think I may have to stop the stream and then start it back. Let me take a look and see here. Oh yeah, it is. It's a little glitchy. Let's see if I can fix that. All right. Just seeing if. All right. So I think that may have fixed it. We'll see here in a second. Sorry about the delay, you guys. But the top camera was having some problems. But I think I may have. Yep, I think I fixed it. Okay. All right. So we're good to go with the top down camera now. And the point I was trying to make is that the cam or the Note Air 3C on the left has a bit of a reddish tint to the screen, and the Note Air 4C here on the right has it's just gray. Um, it's the grayest screen I've seen Boox come out with, or Onyx come out with for their the Boox line. Let me take these off here. But yeah, so since they've come out with the Boox line, I haven't seen a screen that's as bright or as gray as this one on the Note Air 4C here. Also the hey, thanks Lou, for letting me know that it looks fine now. I appreciate that. Um, can someone use different pens with Remarkable? Is we have Darty Walter. You can use different pens with the Remarkable. In my experience, let's see here. In my experience, the pens that work best with the Remarkable, or it's not really about the pens itself. It's really more about um, the nib you use with those pens. So in my experience, if you're using like a plastic pen, they work really well with the Remarkable. I love plastic nibs, like the palm nibs, the POM nibs. I'll put that in the chat for you there. That works really well. Let me open my chat here. But the palm nibs work really well with the Remarkable devices. So those nibs right there work the best for me for the Remarkable platform. It's just the hard nibs don't seem to feel very good on the Remarkable, and the felt is just terrible. I think that's what you use when you don't have anything else to use, in my opinion. um, but going back to I should probably pull this down here. Yeah, I will. There we go. Okay, so now I'm going back to um, the tablets here. Drit. Oh, my bad, Drit. I appreciate you correcting me there. Thank you. So so the difference between the screens is just the color. This has a redder hue and this has a grayer hue of screen, which I like. So I'm digging that they've gone with a display panel that's on. If it's got to be not white, I'd rather be gray, right, and not have a color hue to it. That would be the best option for me. Um, and sticking with the screens here, something else that I noticed about this particular, let me see here. Something else I noticed about this particular screen is the film that's on it. This film, I'm not sure if you guys are familiar with the Supernote platform, but when you first buy a Supernote, the writing surface on those devices, they have um, a like a sticky feel at first or a grippy feel at first. But the more you write with it, the less that becomes a thing. So when you first get the Remarkable, super sticky, super grippy when you're writing with it, and then after a day or two, after you write with it or your hand oils get like into the filter a little bit, or the film a little bit, it's it that stickiness kind of goes away and it gives way to a really nice writing surface. I'm thinking that's what's going to happen here with the Note Air 4C because it's super grippy and sticky. And I noticed that when I first got the ceramic nib on it, it just, I mean, even now it feels a little bit grippy and sticky in certain parts. Um, but it definitely feels like a different screen than what's on the Note Air 3C because when I got the Note Air 3C, that wasn't a thing. When I got the Go 10.3, uh, that wasn't a thing either with the Go 10.3. So it's something that I've only ever witnessed on the Note Air 4C, and I'm not sure why that is. Um, the film just feels a tad bit thicker on the Note Air 4C. I think that might be what the difference is. Whatever film they're using on the screen, it just feels a tad bit thicker than what they use on the Note Air 3C and on the Go 10.3. And that's just, you can feel it when you're writing. You can even feel it when you like run your nails across it. It's a different feel. Um, all right. What else we got here? There we go. All right, so turning the devices on. So I noticed another thing too about um, the Note Air 4C. So the big thing about this, so I did the video, and you guys will see this in the video that I did when it comes out. It'll be out in a couple days. But I did the unboxing video tonight, and I tried to go live, but that live with the Ray-Ban glasses idea, good idea, and if it had worked, it would have been very cool. But it just didn't work out for as long. It lasted for like 30 seconds, and then the stream would like stop for whatever reason. Um, but the thing is, when I was doing that, I did a light bleed test doing that video, and the same light bleed issue that the Note Air 3C has is the same light bleed issue that the Note Air 4C has. So the Note Air 3C has a light bleed issue around the edges of the screen when you turn the front light on. And if you're in the dark, you can clearly see it if you have the tablet at an angle like this or whatever. You can see the light bleed from the creases of the screen. And I thought that might have been a thing that they would have fixed on the Note Air 4C, but not the case because the Note Air 4C also has that light bleed around the edges of the screen here. And like I said, when my video comes out in a couple days, you'll be able to see that on camera there. But I thought that was very interesting. That must be a display thing. It's not huge or anything like that, but it's enough that you notice. I'll put it that way. What else we got here? All right, so let's turn these on. So I did notice as well that they've gone with, and we can get rid of the Note Air 3C for now. I also noticed that they've kind of gone with. Can we get down closer here? There we go. Maybe we can get closer. Can we get a little closer? Oh, that's too close. Let's back it up. Let's back it up. All right. So you can kind of see here that they've gone with a really like thin, a really minimalist UI now. versus the really bold lines of the Go 10.3. And let's see if we can pull that up over here. All right. All right, so we got the Go 10.3 here, and you can see that, all of the elements are pretty bold on here. The lettering is bold. I mean, you even got it, you get it even worse, or not worse, but you get even more of that on um, the Note Air 3C here with the version 3.5 firmware. Uh, push this over there. Um, these lines are even bolder, right? Let's see if we can get all three of them on here. Slightly. So you can see that these lines and lettering even bolder than what you have on the 10.3. So they went really bold with these two operating systems here. But with this one, with the Note Air 4C, they've gone with a way more minimalist UI design choice. And you can see that in the borders of the widgets. You can see that in the borders of the apps. You can see that in the lettering. It's a lot more minimal, a lot thinner, not so bold looking. Um, yeah, so these elements are all a lot bold, a lot more minimal on the Note Air 4C. So they've taken a different approach with this new firmware 4.0 as to how they go about doing it. So going to the comments real quick, we got Too Old for Toys. Heck of a name. I like that. Welcome to the chat. Boox give the older devices 4.02. Pretty please. So yeah, I think that's what's going to happen. I think they are going to give older devices the new firmware. The problem is, move over a little bit. The problem is that if the device doesn't have BSR, then I don't think that device is going to get the new Boox, that new firmware version 4.0, because it has widgets, and you need BSR to run those live widgets effectively. And so I think that's going to be the differentiating factor is BSR. If the device has BSR, it'll get the new firmware. If it doesn't have BSR, then it's probably not going to get the new firmware. So the Go 10.3, if you guys out there have the Go 10.3, I don't think that's going to get the new firmware. I think that's going to stay with the Note firmware. But yeah, we'll see. All right, so back to the Go 10.3 here. And just the design language, you can see that here in the eInk Center as well. Like if we pull up the eInk Center on the 10.3, you can see that everything looks super bold over here. From the icons to the lettering, a lot more minimal over here on the Note Air 4C. So they're definitely going for minimalist for sure. All right, so we got Mel L. Welcome to the chat, Mel. How's the writing feel between the Go 10.3 and the Note 4C? Any differences? There are definite differences. I was just talking about those. So the differences would be the fact that, let me fix my monitor. All right, so some of the differences would be the feel of the actual writing surface. So the writing surface on the Note Air 4C is, it feels like the film that they have on that screen is a bit thicker than what they have on the Note Air 3C and on the Go 10.3. It feels better to me. It's starting to feel better. Initially, it has a roughness to it and a grippiness to it, kind of like the Note or the Supernote devices. When you first get those, they have a stickiness and a grippiness to the screen that gives way after a day or two of use. The same thing with I think is going on with the Note Air 4C. I think the stickiness and the grippiness I feel on the screen that I've never felt on the other devices before in any of the Boox device I've ever bought. That stickiness I think is going to give way in a day or two, because even now, areas that I've written a lot or played with a lot already starting to feel a lot less sticky. I'm noticing even now. So I think that's going to be the case with this device as well. Once that stickiness gives way, I think I'm going to appreciate the writing surface even more on the 4C than I did on the 3C, assuming that stickiness is due to the film, the writing film being a tad bit thicker, which, you know, couldn't hurt, but it definitely feels good though. I think the writing surface feels different on the 4C, and it feels better to me. I mean, it's all about the nib you're choosing too, right? Because if you got a felt nib, you probably won't feel that difference. That's probably a difference that you won't even notice. But if you are using a harder nib, it's definitely something you'll notice. You'll notice that almost instantly, for sure. Excuse me. Let's see. We have. Let's go back to the comments here. We have Scott. Oh, what's going on, Scott? How's it going, man? Prefer my orange logo. You, Scott, if you don't get out of here with that orange logo, how's it going, man? Uh, Dreet says I'd have to wear readers to read that screen. Yeah, it's I consider that as well. I consider that as well, Dreet. It just no problem, Mel. I feel you on that. It's something that's going to take some getting used to. I'm assuming, like with most Boox products, you can customize that in the settings, right? I'm pretty sure once I get to that point, we'll see that you can customize how bold everything looks, because it does look super minimal right now, and yeah, that could be hard to read. I'm totally with you on that. All right, so Scott in the comment says, "Are we able to choose the note layout over the tablet layout? I really don't like the tablet layout. Really, I don't like it as much as you. I don't like the orange, and don't like the orange logo. Well, if you don't like the layout as much as I don't like the orange logo, that means you don't like it a lot. I don't think you can change that. I just think that's something that they're going to be going with on all of their BSR enabled devices, and they're probably going to reserve that Note OS for just the devices that don't have BSR, unfortunately. Um, and that's just because of probably graphical limitations of devices that don't have BSR. So unfortunately, I don't think that's going to be a thing, man. 20 for Toys says BSR required for 4.0 would be a disappointment, but oh well. Let's see. Still have my fingers crossed. Yeah, like we'll see. These are only my opinions. I don't have any insider news on this. I'm only going off of what it looks like from the outside looking in, right? So we could get BSR on a 10.3. We could. But I honestly think, and another reason that makes me think BSR is a prerequisite for having firmware version 4.0 is that they called the Note, that the bigger 13.3 Note device, they call it the Note Max. I think the only reason that device was not called the Go 13.3 was because it has BSR. And the only reason they put BSR in that device is because they wanted it to run that new firmware. So that's the reason why I think that the firmware is going to be locked to devices that have BSR. Yeah, no, it doesn't look that way to me, Scott. Yeah, just Scott says he thought that there would be a way to change the operating system from this hybrid, because this is really a hybrid tab Note OS. It's not really a full Note OS, and there's a couple of differences that we could talk about, but um, this is really a hybrid. But there's no way to switch between the operating systems, unfortunately. Is there BSR 2.0 in the 4C? Lou says. Um, no, there is no BSR 2.0 in the 4C. BSR 2.0 is something that was talked about but never ever released, and they've never put it in a device yet. And as far as I know, the representative that mentioned that even got people going on this BSR 2.0 mentioned it kind of prematurely because it's not something that I don't think they were even done with. Um, but yeah, it's certainly not in the new Note Air 4C or any device right now that I know of. It may be in the new Note Max. You know, we might see it there. All right, so back to the 4C here. Now, I haven't gone through any of the apps yet. I'm telling you, this screen does feel different than the other devices, and I do like the way it feels. I do like it. I like the way it sounds, and I like the way it feels. It is, it's definitely different, you guys. The screen on this device is definitely different. Or not, maybe not the screen, but the writing film that they're using on the Note Air 4C is different than the writing film that they're using on the Go 10.3. And from my experience, the Note Air 3C. No problem, Lau. All right, so let's get back to here. Um, I haven't had a chance to really do much writing on it yet. I kind of just want to go through the settings with you guys, basically, so we can see what the settings look like compared to. Uh, we'll do this later. I really wanted to see what the settings were like in here, and it looks like from what I can see here, the settings are the same. Yep, the settings are the same. And I had just started I had just started doing a write up of the differences between the Note OS and the Tab OS, and then they talked about this with new version 4.0, and I'm like, oh, now I gotta scrap. Like, I'm thinking I gotta scrap my video that I had started writing on. I've been working on for at least a month, doing the write up for the operating systems because I wanted to detail everything about the Boox operating system and have that archived for anybody who has any questions about any facet of that operating system because it is vast. And because of that, I wanted some kind of repository for everyone, right? So that's what I had been working on was making that for everyone, just to have in video form. But in doing that, this came out, and then the differences between the Go 10.3 became apparent, and I realized that they were going to disseminate that to all of their devices. So I'm like, man, now the Note is different from what it used to be. I got to start over. And now with this new version 4.0, it's different from the old Note. So now I got to start all over again. At some point, Boox will slow down with their operating system changes, and I'll be able to just actually make this documentation of it that I've been wanting to do for months, and it'll be done and over with. It's hard to review a Boox product not being able to talk about those things because it's so much there. So I wanted to talk about that, get out of the way, and do regular, reviews. But anyway, maybe one day. The day is not today. So we got Smart Assistant here. What else we got? The display. So yeah, this is still Scott. If you were worried about it being totally different, it's not totally different from the Note because the screensaver is not in the. Oh yeah, it is. Never mind. It is like the Tab. My bad, Scott. This is they've moved this almost exclusively to the Tab OS. There's some little note stuff here and there, but not a lot. I can't say that I like this. I can't say that I like it. I was a fan of them making the e-ink looking bolder. I didn't want it to look more minimal and harder to see. Like it's really starting to bother me now. I ain't gonna front. It's really starting to bother me right now. How like in the background everything seems. Nothing's really like popping out at you. The Penstar was the same kind of way, super minimal, but at least the elements that you were working with were popping. Like they had elements like, okay, we're only going to have the elements that you're actually working with. If you're in the notes things will pop. Everything else will be kind of like faded into the background, which I like that. I appreciate that. But all of this UI is fading into the background for me. What's going on, Jay? How's it going? Right. Yeah, that's kind of like what I was saying. Uh, it's I appreciate that explanation there, Jay, to kind of back up what I was saying there. Um, yeah, that's it. That overzealous reps is what led to that whole thing for sure. Well, well, I don't even know that the GPU is faster. The CPU is faster, Jay. But the GPU, I haven't seen anything that says the GPU is faster. You know what is faster though? Um, the backplane that they use to make the display with renders and refreshes the pigment faster. So things will move faster in this device because of the CPU and because of that improved refresh rate of the backplane. Um, but yeah, so yeah, definitely things are moving a little bit more snappier on the 4C. I will give it that. We can't say that about it. But as far as the UI goes, it's everything's fading into the background. Nothing's coming to the foreground for me, which makes it hard to not hard to see, but it's a strain on the eyes to kind of like constantly think about what elements am I supposed to be looking at here when those elements are supposed to be popping out at you, the ones that you're dealing with. And I didn't appreciate that with the Penstar initially when I first was working with it, but I appreciate it now because I kind of see what they were doing. It takes someone doing it the wrong way for you to like understand when someone's doing it the right way, and this is a case of that, I guess. Yeah, definitely. I would not mind checking, knowing the difference in those SOCs, Jay, for sure. I wouldn't mind seeing the specs on that. I looked at some spreadsheets that someone had online a couple of days ago. It just didn't look credible, so I didn't give it any credence. I didn't even like bring it up in my live stream. Um, but yeah, I would definitely love to know what the actual specs are. That's why I do some digging on this stuff, man, and try to unearth all the information I can, because you just never know. You just never know. All right, so yeah, but back to the UI though. I definitely think the UI as a whole fades into the background. Nothing really pops out at you, and that's my problem with this right now, with this UI. And we're gonna take a look at the Penstar too, so I can give you a comparison as to what I mean. As a matter of fact, let's just go here. So the settings here, I just picked apps from here, and if you look at this at a quick glance, you won't really know what option I picked here. That check mark that denotes that I'm on the apps and notifications kind of blends in with everything else because nothing's popping out, nothing's differentiating itself. Um, by comparison, I'm going to bring up the Penstar here. Oh, maybe I won't because I can't find the Penstar. Oh, yeah, I will. All right. Let's see if we can get back to the home screen here. All right, so as far as the Penstar goes here, you see the same kind of thing going on, right? Let's go to the home screen here. All right, so you see kind of a lot of similarities, to be honest with you here. So you see a lot of similarities here in the two devices, right? Very minimal designs, thin lines, but when you pick something like right here, I'm on the home screen. You know that because the only really bolded element is right here, and it's the one that I am on. You go to notes, like the bolded elements are things that stand out. Like right here, it's kind of bolded and underlined, and nothing else is bolded. But in here, when you get to the settings or even the notes, let's go into the notes and take a look. Whoops, wrong stylus. Um, you see everything kind of fades into the background. Nothing's really popping out at you as far as the settings and what you're on. And I like how this pops out. It's, you know, instantly you're at notes here and you're in the categories because it's the only thing that's underlined. I bolded all of these myself to make those kind of stand out a little more. But you get the point I'm trying to make here. Even in the notes app here, very minimal, very minimal UI, but instantly you know what element is picked. It's right up here. It's the only thing that's bolded right there. You see? Um, so everything else fades into the background up here, except for that. Whoops, except for that. And that's how it's supposed to be, I think. Oh, so it says, so going back to the comments here, Jay says, if you get a chance, can you run CPUZ on both the Note Air 3C and Note Air 4C? That will tell us. You know what? While I'm talking about some other stuff, I can have that. If it'll run in the background, I'll do that right now while we're in the live. I think Lao says, I think book settings issues are even deeper than the UI problems. It's like a maze, impossible to find anything unless you search everywhere. Yeah, I agree. I agree. Nothing's really intuitively laid out in the book's UI. It's just one of those things where you kind of have to know where the setting is, or have already searched everywhere for it and just know. You know what I mean? I agree with that wholeheartedly. But they do have some good settings. If you like options, they got them for you. You know what I mean? Um, but yeah, so let me just go ahead and see if I can run that because I wouldn't mind knowing what that is. And if I can get that done right here, that's kind of why I'm here and what we're doing this for. And that really takes precedence over this comparison I'm doing right here. But just so you guys see, like the UI is that minimal UI thing they got going on is too minimal in my opinion. It's minimal to a fault. Like it makes it hard to know what's kind of going on, and you can figure it out, right? But I think there's a better way to go about doing it, and I actually think that Go 10.3, the operating system they have on there, does it the right way. All right, so let me just. Jay says it'll run in the background, so let me go ahead and get the 3C and the 4C. I'm gonna get that app downloaded here so we can see what's going on. Oops, 8%. Let me put the cable into the Note Air 3C. 1 second, you guys. All right, good to go. Oh, apparently I knocked my light over too. Okay, all right. So let's go ahead and see if we can get these going here. Yeah, I didn't even know. I didn't even think about running those. That's. I'm glad that you brought that up. Yeah, I agree with you, Lau. I'm with that. I like those. I like to have options, even if it is behind a maze. All right. Hope everyone's. How was everyone Halloween? What did you guys do for Halloween? Do we have people who give out candy in here? I don't know why I got. Oh, I got to sign in. Jeez. All right. Let me do my sign in here. All right. You know what I will say too. I will say that the writing is so much better on the Note Air 4C. The e-ink looks better. The algorithm handles your handwriting better. Um, it just looks really good. I haven't, sorry, Lau, I haven't gotten a chance to test the battery too much. I literally just unboxed it 2 hours ago and have just been lightly going through the OS. So, it started out at 80% roughly, and it's at like 71 right now. That's what's up. All right, so yeah, so I'm still logging in here or signing into my Google account here so I can get this. Hmm. Oh, there's an I at the end of my name. Sorry. Okay, I think we're good now. All right, good. All right, so I'm signing in now to my Google account. It's finally accepting my credentials. Oh, that wasn't right. All right, hold on. Let me get the Note Air 3C going while I'm doing this. All right, so I'm getting CPUZ running on the Note Air 3C now, or I'm downloading it now. Oh, I do not. Jeet says live in a rural, out of town, no trick or treaters. Yeah, that sucks. I would normally give out candy. I didn't this year though. I think I was making a video. All right, so I'm installing CPUZ right now on on the Note Air 3C, and I'm still logging in on my Note Air 4C here. So we're going to get that started in a minute. Oh, come on. All right, the Note Air 4C is having an issue already. Let's see if we can try this again. I do like the way they make the e-ink look on the Note Air 4C. It looks really good. It's different, but it looks. I'm gonna have to type this. I've been trying to write this the whole time, and I'm gonna have to type it because this not accepting handwriting. I don't know what the deal is. Oh, and it won't even show me my password. Yeah, it will. Okay, finally. Okay. Wow, it took forever to get signed into my. Now I gotta do the two-step authentication. This is a pain. I gotta tell you guys. But I am happy to get this done though because I want to know what the results. I want to know what the results are. Oh, I didn't have to confirm. Got it. Okay, cool, cool, cool. Accept. I forgot all the Google stuff you got to do. All right, so we're finally here. So we're finally here. I can finally put the CPUZ on the Note Air 4C as well. Hey, no, dude, it's cool, Jay. This is why I'm here, brother. These are the kind of things I wanted to get get going because a these are kind of things I don't think about myself, and where's it at? There we go. And that's why I wanted to do the stream because I know that you guys are out there a lot smarter than I am, think of these things, and that's going to help everybody. Because if I can get this done now you guys know as well as I do. So all right, all right. So here we go. What we got here? We got. Can you guys see this? Let me know if this is hard to see at all. I'm gonna try to get the camera down a little bit more. It's probably as far down as I can get it without it covering up too much. All right, so we got both of these here now, and it looks like what we have for the, and this is the Note Air 4C over here. This is the Note Air 3C over here. Um, it looks like we have both Qualcomm technologies, 8 cores. Blah, 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 blah. So it says the Cryo 570 on the Note Air 4C and the Cryo 260 on the Note Air 3C. What else we got? Oh, this is interesting. This is super interesting. So it looks like the the process, the fabrication process is an 8 nanometer process on the Note Air 4C, which is right here, and it's a 6 nanometer process, which to me means better, right? On the Note Air 3C. That's super interesting. I think that's super interesting right there. And if you look at here, it looks like the Note Air 4C is just rendering everything super like minimal, almost hard to read. Here, a lot bolder, a lot easier to read. I don't know what that is about, but all right. So it's you said it's a little blurry there, Jay. My bad, brother. I'm running 720p right now, so I'm not gonna be able to get it too much clearer. But what are they? Arduino numbers? Let's look here and see. The Arduino numbers are for the GPU over here for the Note Air 3C. We have 619 at 565 megahertz. And over here for the Note Air 3C for the Arduino, we have 610 at 1114 megahertz. What does that mean, brother? Enlighten me. Is that the clock speed of the GPU? I'm gonna look at the. I'm gonna look at the device stats here we got for them. DPI is the same. It looks like total RAM 4 to 6 gigs. All right, let's see what we got for system here. Hmm. Battery. All right, so CPUZ shows me nothing for the 3C for the battery, but it shows me battery information for the 4C though. Oh, and I get thermals. I get thermal info on the 4C as well. That's interesting. Ain't it though? Super distracting. I'm glad you finally see it, Dreet, because that stuff is, it's been bothering me for months. I could probably do that. Um, 204 Toy says in the e-ink center I can make the black text darker. I could probably do that. I'm just thinking out of the gate. Um, oh, okay. So Jay says the 619 in the Note Air 4C, as far as the graphic chip goes, is about twice as fast as the 610 and the 3C. That's good to know. That's good to know. So not only is the CPU bumped up, the GPU they bumped up as well, and they improved the backplane, which improves the refresh rate. So the 4C should be a lot faster than the 3C, given all of that. And yeah, I mean, I would think, right? All right, so we don't have any more. Um, uh, it didn't tell us any more information other than that. The 4C was giving me way more information than the 3C was. The 3C had sections that didn't have information at all. But that's super interesting to know. So they do have a faster. It looks like they do have a faster CPU in here. Oh wow! Now I can't get anything to show up. Oh, there we go. An ad, of course. All right, yeah. So there we go. The ad didn't play yet. So yeah, I think that's super interesting though. What do you think about the nanometer process that they got going on there, Jay? I mean, smaller doesn't always mean better, um, but the power efficiency I think would be better in a smaller chip. No. Oh, he says, so in relation to the backplane, Jay says you would notice the 619 less if they hadn't upgraded the backplane. Good to know. Good to know. And more speed all around never hurts. I guess at some point something has to be the bottleneck. Um, and you wouldn't want it to be the CPU or the GPU. So they upgraded the backplane. Now the backplane is still the bottleneck probably. It's faster, but still the bottleneck. Is there anything anybody wants to see specifically on the Note Air 3C against the Note Air 4C? Oh, something else I did notice too that I wanted to bring up. It was in the Notes app. So we got real geeky on them for a minute, Jay. Let's uh let's dial it back a bit and hit this Notes app. Um, but yeah, one thing I did notice on the Notes app that I'm going to bring up really quickly before we dive into any other questions you guys might have. Um, I noticed that they have that they have that outline feature that I was geeking out about. Does a 4C feel faster? Uh, that's a good question. It should feel faster considering all that we just said, right? I ain't gonna lie to you though. Um, it don't feel faster, but you know what? A lot of my problems with slowness on the Note Air series doesn't really come with everyday functions and stuff. It comes with like a tool not reacting like I want it to because it's stuttering. Like the selection tool. That's what I want to test out, right? Those are the things that get me. Yeah, I agree with you, Jay. Yeah, we derailed them for a little bit, bro. We derailed for a little bit, but listen, I appreciate you. This is the kind of the insight that I like to get down into, especially on the live streams, when we can have a back and forth. You know what I mean? That's awesome. Um, but back to the speed, I don't. The thing about the speed for me is, can I select stuff? And I don't even think I have the AI tools selected on here. Let me go ahead and make sure I got all the AI tools on because that's how I roll. Okay, so I will say I can't say it enough though. The e-ink looks superb on the Note Air 4C. Superb. I mean, the Go 10.3 makes e-ink look good because of the contrast, but the e-ink just looks good on the 4C. They're doing something different with the way they're having the e-ink represent itself on the screen. It looks really good. It looks really good. Anyway, it makes this Note that looked crazy on the 3C look super tame. I don't know what they're doing here, but they made it look good. But selecting stuff and dragging it, like right there, the smart selection tool didn't do what it was supposed to do there. Let me go to my lasso erase. Oh no, that's not gonna do it. Can we scribble erase? Scribble erase don't even. What is going on? There we go. Okay, there we go. Okay, so now maybe I can try to select something and move it because that's where I notice the speed in these devices is when I'm editing stuff, trying to manipulate things, and I'm not manipulating that at all. I don't know why the scribble isn't working. The lasso select is not working right now at all. Maybe I'm not on the same layer. Oh, that would be the problem right there. I probably should be on that layer if I'm going to manipulate. There we go. Okay, so now let's select the screen. And how does it move? You see that though? You see that lagginess right there? That is what I don't like. And I was hoping extra speed would help that. Now, if the extra speed and power could help that, now we're doing something, right? But that's the most sluggish, you're going to see this. I mean, the Supernote handles this so fantastically. The Remarkable handles this so fantastically. Why can't Boox get this right? I mean, Onyx. Why can't they get that right? That doesn't make any sense. For that to be like that. Now they give you a lot of options. You can spin this thing. You can stretch it in many different directions. And you don't get those kind of options with Supernote or Remarkable. But yeah, that's how I judge speed. Things like that. And that's still choppy and slow to me. Yeah, you're right, Jay. No one can touch the Books Notes app for sure. I do wish they would fix that selections tool sluggishness. That's what they can do for me. They can fix that selection tool sluggishness, and I will be super happy. Oh, wrong way. Can't bring those back. All right. Does anybody have anything they want me to take a look at while we're here? I feel like me and Jay just was like, oh, it's the Rod and Jay show. We're trying to figure out what the GPU and CPU is in this thing. Uh so what update are we talking about? Are we talking about uh the the new update they did to the new Go line or the new Note line, the 3.5? All right. Until we get a request, I'm gonna go ahead and go to the PDF reader here because that's the next big thing I want to see really quickly. Where are we at? I should just be able to go to. Oh, there we go. What am I doing? Do I have books here already? I should. I don't. Oh. Oh, I thought all my books were here. I suppose they're not. Oh, they may be in the my storage. Where's that at? Nope, that's not it. There we go. Okay, so we got a camera manual here. We'll take a look at the camera manual. Oh, there we go. Good deal. All right, so looking at I don't think they changed it much any. We're gonna get we're gonna get both of these up here, but I don't think they changed it much. I'm gonna try to bring up the same thing here. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Yeah, so they didn't change it much at all. It looks the same. Yeah, it is the same. Looks like the same options. Yeah, yeah, same stuff. I thought this was supposed to have the new Neo reader. I'm gonna have to go through their list of features for this, but it doesn't look to be any different. Can we see the colors there? You guys just can you are you guys seeing any color difference there? I mean, it's not a lot of color, granted. Maybe I should pull up something with some actual color in it. Let's do that. Yeah, but this reader doesn't look any different as far as how the information is managed on screen, and it doesn't look any more cohesive, right? I mean, is that just me? Yeah, I'm not digging that either. All right, let's take a look at what we can take a look at. Hmm, Oh, that's the settings. I want to go to my apps here. I thought that was back, but it's not back, I guess. Hmm. All right, so I'm gonna download the reader here for this device because I gotta have like Google News. There we go. We'll download Google News and we'll open both of those up and see what the images look like there. Can I open that here? There we go. Things happen quick though. I will say that. Things happen super quick on here. Yeah, the Note Air 3C is a bit darker. Well, browner, as you said. It's got that reddish hue to it. The Note Air 4C, which is on the left here, is has a grayer screen. Yeah, so just as we're taking a look at this, yeah, it just seems redder, and you can see that redness over here. to, even if I were to switch sides, and let's go ahead and switch the sides of them because the light is on the left side there. I mean, even when you switch sides, you can see even without a front light, this just has the perception of being a brighter screen. The Note Air 4C does. And the colors are a bit different. Well, I mean, I probably have them set a bit different in here too. So, yeah. Um, this is how I would normally have my colors for anything. I typically bring the color down to like 20, or the darkness down to about 20, and oh no, that's for writing. If you're looking at content on the screen, it's almost always better to have all the sliders down. That's going to make everything, the pictures look better, the best in my opinion. Let's see, refresh this. If we, oh, we can't refresh that. We can refresh this side though. Yeah, I mean here just it. I mean you can see it just looks whiter, right? You just switch sides and it's almost worse. Yeah, it's and what's weird is that the light source is on this side, so you would think that this would have been a little bit brighter, but no. Yeah, it is for sure. All of these things we're talking about here, I'm going to throw into the review for sure. I'm going to go through it and then just do a better job of capturing on camera the differences that we're talking here today. I'm also going to bring up in the review those differences we talked about with the chipset there, Jay. So I appreciate you, man. That's gonna fit really well into the review. Actually, I may just bring that up in a video before the review. Um, that was clutch. But yeah, so I think it looks better. I think it looks better. The screen isn't technically brighter, but the color is different, and I don't know. It looks whiter to me. I don't know, man. It looks whiter to me. I'll take that. I will take that. But yeah, as far as the colors go, like I said, I have all the sliders the same right now. I'm even refreshing the Note Air 3C, and I haven't refreshed the Note Air 4C yet. I don't even know what speed setting these things are on. Oh, fast. Okay. Let's put them on balanced. Let's put both of them on fast. Wow, yeah. Listen, you guys, I gotta say, um, the screen is looking a lot wider. I didn't expect that. I didn't expect that at all. Yeah, that's yeah. Wow. Okay. All right. Learn something new every day. Learn something new every day. All right. Anything anybody wants to see in particular? I got these things side by side here. I think I've looked at all the preliminary stuff I wanted to look at here, and which was basically to explain the writing surface, um, and to look at the screen difference, look at the color difference, um, and to kind of like point out. Oh, there's one thing else I wanted to point out in this live stream. If anyone um, is interested in that, would be the the table of contents for the Penstar. Basically, Boox essentially took the table of contents from the Penstar and kind of just like tweaked it and made it better. Which is, if you're gonna take something from somewhere, that's what you should do. Take it, copy it, make it better. But if we look in here, go ahead and take this down again. The graininess, no, I don't have a color meter at all, bro. Going to the back to the chat here. Jay, I don't have a color meter at all. Does it? And Lou says, does it still have the graininess? It does still have the graininess. I mean, that's just going to be there, I think. Um, but I think it's to a much lesser degree, if I'm being honest. Without looking into it too deeply, I would say to a much lesser degree. Is the BSR 2.0 a thing? No, CJ. BSR 2.0 is not a thing. Thank you. Thanks for that, Jay. Yeah, and we just went through that hardware too there, CJ. We just kind of like went through the hardware and realized, yeah, it's got some beefier hardware. Even though the the uh, the fabrication process is a little different. That's bothering me. The move from six or from six to what was it, from 4 to 6 nanometers? The move from to go from 4 nanometer process to a 6 nanometer process, um, very puzzling. Very puzzling. You typically don't go backwards in that process. You typically go smaller. But yeah, maybe it was cheaper, more efficient. Although that doesn't make sense either. But you know what? I did hear that Apple went through a process like that with the M3 and the M4. They they basically skipped the M3 chip on a lot of their devices because of the manufacturing process, of the fabrication process of the chipset. Um, was so costly, even though the process is okay. Okay, 6 to 8. Oh yeah, good, good, good. 6 to 8. So yeah, it's just weird. That was a weird backwards. But so even though the process was a smaller die on the three, they skipped it in favor of the four because of how costly to make the three was, or the M3 chip was to make. So maybe this is one of those things. Maybe that manufacturing process of the 6 nanometer um, fabrication process was just way more costly than they thought it would be, and the 8 nanometer was like looking pretty good at that point. Like, okay, we want to go small, but it's costly. Let's save some money. We'll go back to the 8. And I'm curious as to what they were coming from, right? What they were coming from the 2 to the 3. I'd be interested to know that. You know what I mean? Like if they were at 8 nanometers for the 2, went to 6 nanometers for the 3, and then went back to 8 nanometers for the 4. That would be super interesting. But anyway, so this note app on the Penstar, faster and older. That is so interesting. That is, I knew it. You know what? I knew it. I knew this what the case was. I knew, and I guarantee this is all about cost. Same thing happened to Apple. Apple went the M3 chip, which is the MacBook Pro I have now has the M3 chip in it. Apple went with the M3 chip for those. 2 to 3 is also a great. Yeah, true. Yeah. But Apple did the same thing with the M3. They went with the M3 chip, realized how costly it was to make that process, and then decided to wait for the M4 chip to upgrade all their other devices, because a lot of the devices never even had the M3 chip in it. They just skipped the M3 and just waited for the M4. So this could be that kind of situation too. The cost was just more than they thought it was going to be, and they were like, "No, we're going back to the old tech. It's faster, but older." So weird. So weird. All right, so back to the note thing. So, um, see, we've been talking about this so long. My eating tablet went to sleep. So, let's open a note here on the Note Air 3C, just so I can illustrate this point here. Oh, that's the e-reader. No, we want the Notes app. All right, so on this particular device here, oh, I want the 4C. I want the 4. Not the 3C, but the 4C. All right, so we got the 4C right here, and I'm going to open up a note here. And on the 4C, oh, you guys, my bad. Oh, yeah. I thought I had compared the two wrong things, but we're good to go. I compared the two right things. Phew. All right, so anyway, over here we have a note, and this particular note right here has a table of contents that we can open up. Really, the table of contents in the new firmware 4.0 is called the outlines. And I've made an outline right here already. As you can see, I've called it Kaleido 3. And this outline has a hierarchy tree, and you can open and close the tree, or drop it down and bring it back up and see the sub menus here, or the sub outlines, which I think is very cool. This idea was first brought up on the first time I saw that idea was on the Penstar a couple months ago, when I saw that they had a table of contents, which kind of works the same way. You pick up here, and they have a table of contents. I'm not sure if you guys can read this right here, but it says contents. And basically that's a table of contents that you can create for the particular notebook that you're in. Or I have to open a different notebook because I don't have a table of contents in that one. Let's see here. Wow. Okay, no contents in that one either. I'm sure I have a notebook with table of contents. Maybe? Yeah, there we go. All right, so this is the table of contents, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I have 6 entries for the table of contents, and the way you go about entering those into the table of contents is you basically go to the pages view, which shows you all of the pages. There we go. Which shows you all of the pages in that notebook. And at the bottom of each page, you get an option bar, and you can say add that particular page to the table of contents. And then once you add that page to the table of contents, you can, let's see here. There we go. Once you add it to the table of contents, you can name that entry. You can give that entry a label, right? And so that's what I did with the table of contents entries I have here. I picked page number 1, and I labeled that entry specs discussion. So they have the same thing here with the new version 4. They've come out with a similar table of contents thing, which they call the outline. And the outline basically does the same thing, where when you pick a page, let's see here. Oops, I use a different pen. So when you pick a page, and I'm going to pick page 5 here. I love that little feather they have for the waiting, the loading screen. That's kind of cool. Anyway, I'm going to pick page 5 here and make that a table of contents entry. Oh. Oh, that's interesting. Okay. Oh, that's super interesting. Oh, there we go. Okay. I thought it was a long hold with the pen, but it's a long hold with the finger. If you long press on the screen with the finger, you can add whatever page you're long holding on to the outline. And then once you get the outline menu here, you have to label that outline. I'm going to put last page. Oh, there we go. I'm going to label it last page. All right, so I've labeled that last page, I think. Oh, this handwriting box has been giving me issues. It hasn't worked since like the first hour I've used the device. Yeah, the screen on the 4C is super dark compared to the E Note I have here. The eNote has the brightest screen of any e-ink device I've ever tested. So if you're comparing the eNote brightness to the 4C brightness, uh, yeah, don't do that. Don't do that because and definitely don't compare it with the eNote. The eNote is just a phenom in that area of brightness. I mean, I'm gonna bring the Go 10.3 out. It destroys even the Go 10.3. And the Go 10.3 is closer to the light than the eNote is. And you can still see a clear night and day difference between these two devices. The eNote is just a beast when it comes to screen brightness. It's got the widest screen for sure. And the front light is completely off on the 4C over here too, just so you guys know that. No front lights on any devices I'm using right now. All right. I should probably turn the front light on just so you guys can see a little better though, right? Oh no, the front light was on. Yo, wait, let's chill out. The front light was on, and it was still getting destroyed by the eNote. Holy cow! Yeah, the eNote is a beast. The eNote is a beast. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the eNote is a beast. In the contrast because it's just got the widest screen I've seen on any device. It wipes the floor with all other devices. Even the Remarkable 2. And the Remarkable 2, in my opinion, the Remarkable 2 had the widest screen I'd ever seen until the eNote came into my life. And then it was like, oh, okay, well, the crown is gone. The crown is gone. All right, so anyway, back to the note. So you pick a page, right? You guys took me totally off track with the eNote. All right, so you pick the page you want to make the entry in. Let's start over. Jeez. So you pick the page, you long hold on that page until you get the option, and then you add the page to the outline. And then once you get the outline menu, what? Come on. All right. So when you add it to the outline, you have to give it a title. So like I said, last page, and I'm going to try it one more time to write down here. Does it work? It still doesn't work. That's so disappointing. It really is. Even scribbling it out doesn't even. God, I gotta type everything. That's counterintuitive. Okay. So going going to the chat. Lao says, well, that was for 204 toys. That wasn't even for me. Okay. Inerso says, thanks, mate. I just had a Remarkable Paper Pro, and if I touched up the front light like one or two notches, it did look natural rather than like super bright, like it was a legit light. Yeah, that the light on the Remarkable Paper Pro is super light. I like it. It has a nice subtle glow. It's kind of cool. Not very useful though. Sent back because of limitations. Yeah. Remarkable Paper Pro just you're not gonna get all the bells and whistles. Dreet says just stick to pens, pencils, and real paper notebooks. Yeah. Okay. All right. So anyway, all right, I'm eventually going to get to finish this point I was trying to make about the Note app. All right. So let's try this one more time. You hold down, you long hold on the screen, and then you get the option to add that page to the outline. Once you get the option to add the page to the outline, you can give that page a label, and we'll label it last page because I can't write in my right bar. Oh, I'm so mad. I'm probably gonna have to reset the device. All right, so now we've added something to the outline. And now when we go to the outline here, we can see last page was added to page 5. And that's super cool because that just allows you to go right there. And it's super cool that you can collapse and expand the outline as well. That's what I was looking for. Collapse and expand. I don't know what I said before, but collapse and expand the outline is super useful for me. So I like that. That's an advantage over the pin notes table of contents, because the pin note, you can only label a page as a table of contents entry, and you can only give that page a title. But you can't have sub titles. You know what I mean? That makes it cool, because within Kaleido 3, I have another topic that talks about the backplane before I go on to my total new topic, the last page. I love that. I love that. So that's them. That's the outline functionality of the new firmware. It isn't what I thought it was going to be. Really, it's just a play on what Penstar did with the eNote and their table of contents, which I think is very cool too. They just took that and extended it even further, and they put it in there with their other organizational tools, as far as their thumbnails and as far as the scribble searches and all that stuff go, and the tags. So they did it in a really cool way, but it's definitely not a unique idea, and it's an idea they definitely took from another company, but they did make it better. So you got to give them credit for that. Um, Dree says, boo, boo, last I would love the hardware technology of Rail Paper with the flexibility in the Boox platform. Yes, I said that last year. I said at the beginning of this year, if you had Boox software with the remarkable hardware, oh come on, come on. That's what you would want. That's what I thought the Go 10.3 was, and to some extent, that's what the Go 10.3 is. It's remarkable hardware essentially with Boox software. If they decided that they were gonna, take some Remarkable Paper Pro cues and make them a device based on that, a 10 point or 11.8-inch device, might get pretty interesting. Might get pretty interesting. All right, you guys. Any more tests you guys want me to run on here real quick before I get out of here? This has been fun though. I enjoyed this. This has been fun. I'm gonna go work on my review and laugh about the stream that I did after. It's gonna be awesome. How does the display compare to the Note Air 3C? Any improvements? So yeah, so earlier in the stream, I'll bring it out again. But earlier in the stream, I brought the Note Air 3C over. And I'm just gonna turn off both of these screens here, just so you can get a feel for what they look like. And now that I'm looking at it, hold on, guys. Oh, you know what? This is what I'm gonna do. That's what I'm gonna do. Hold on. I got a question. Here we go. I got a trick for you guys. I got a test. Ah, oh, dang! You guys saw the logo. Here, let me get the logo off the screen. I'm gonna do a test to see if you guys can spot which is which. I gotta put both of them on like blank screensavers first. Hey, no problem, Jay, man. That's what's up. That's what I'm here for. One more thing. One more thing before you guys go. I want to see if you guys can spot which one is the 3C and which one is the 4C. That's our last test, and then I'm out of here. I gotta make both the screensavers blank though, so you guys don't cheat. Oh, perfect. Okay. All right. So I think I got what I'm gonna do up. Oh, I do. Perfect. Oh, perfect. All right. So you guys tell me which one you think is which. I'm gonna slide them into the frame really quickly, really slowly. I'm gonna slide them into the frame slowly. You guys don't know which is which. You don't know which is which. Now, based off what you see, just based off the little bit that you see, I can show you a little bit more. I can show you a little bit more. There, right there. Okay. Based off of the little bit you guys see, which one is the Note Air 3C and which one is the Note Air 4C? Okay. All right. This hand right here is, I only got one hand up, and it's my right hand. So is the device the 3C or the 4C that my hand is closest to over here? What do we got? All right, I know I gotta wait a few seconds for the lag in between the stream and you guys seeing this. All right, so, wait, you guys can't say left or right. Just say, is it the one by my hand or is it the one that's not by my hand? Which is the 4C? Okay. So CJ says the one on the right is the 4C. Uh, Dreet says the one on the left. Jay says the one on the left. All right, hold on. Here we go. All right, you guys ready? All right, so this is how it shakes out. So the one on the right was the 4C, and the one on the left was the 3C. Oh, that was awesome. That was awesome. Now my hand was actually on the 4C, so the 4C was on the right and the 3C was on the left. That was a good little test. You guys did good. That's not too bad. I mean, it's not that easy to tell. It's not that easy to tell, honestly. It wasn't that easy to tell. So, but here we have it. So the right was the 4C and the left was the 3C. Um, it's not that it wasn't that cut and dry, you guys. Especially with the lighting involved and all of that. Yeah, some of you guys got it right. All right, man. I'm gonna get out of here, you guys. Um I really appreciate everybody stopping by. I had a blast. I learned a lot. Jay, dude, thanks for stopping in, man. That CPU test that you suggested was a gold, dude. Um, I'm gonna go and put all this stuff in the review once I get it all together. All right, you guys. All right. Have a good evening, everybody. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate everybody. Thanks for all the support. Go check the channel out. Go check some videos out. And I'll see you guys on the next stream or on the next video. The review for the Luna's 4C should be out in 2 days. All right. So Monday we should be seeing that. All right, you guys. Have a good night. Take care.